So, Memeulous, GeorgeM, or even Memeulous, only true ones remember. On today's YouTube video bonanza, I'd like to look at the incredible rise of our little anonymous British lad. He's paved the way for the UK amateur grime, loves paying taxes, and makes excellent content.
I took my last date to Greg's. It went really well.
Greg's is good.
The
They
ladies
really good
love it.
sausage rolls.
The ladies love it.
Sausages.
Yeah,
My sausage.
oh, that's good.
Is it done? Oh my.
Stop! Are you taking the piss?
Always. Memeulous is currently sitting on an impressive 4.5 million subscribers, which seems to just grow overnight, I swear to God. So buckle up, because this journey is not a short one. Well, it's still going to be like 10 minutes or condensed down to, so but you know, you get the point. Now, this video will have chapters, so feel free to skip ahead if you want to, and don't forget to smash like and subscribe if you enjoy listening to my words. The Memeulous channel was started on the 5th of September 2014, and by the very next day we was blessed with the first video, which can only be described as the second greatest video on earth. On the 6th of September 2014 we were able to feast our eyes on 2016 African Movie of the Year. In this epic debut, Memeulous portrays eloquently what life would be like in the distant future of 2016 for the African population, which I can only assume was accurate. This style of video was somewhat on brand for the year of 2014 and the YouTube poop era, which was genuinely quite a good era. So Memeulous continued his journey using this format, releasing 2 more videos within a week and a half of creating his channel, showing unbelievable perseverance and a work ethic I can really get behind. The 2 videos I'm talking about are called The MLG Crowd, which is an overly hypersized parody of the popular TV show The IT Crowd. The 3rd video uploaded to the Memeulous channel is called IGM Reviews RuneScape, which is almost a trolling video set in the world of RuneScape and hidden behind various memes, again pretty on brand. Now, getting into the meat of the success of the early George Memeulous days. Amazingly, George uploaded his 4th video 14 days after the creation of the channel, and this video changed everything. On the 19th of September 2014, George created the classic masterpiece, or some may say his Citizen Kane, Harry Potter and the No Scoper's Stone.
Did you ever make anything happen? Anything you couldn't explain? You're a scrubble, Harry.
You fucking what, mate?
Which incredibly is still his 7th most popular video to date, even after 7.5 years of increasingly better content. Although the editing is chaotic and Memetastic, this style of video was genuinely considered good content at the time. In fact, if I remember correctly, I still have fond memories of this video around the time of release, because it was pretty topical at the time with the overwhelming rise of the FaZe clan. And another thing you have to remember is this was at the peak of the popularity of Modern Warfare 2, the greatest COD ever. Hence many of the themes in the video nodded towards Call of Duty. True to his name, Memeulous continues to steer towards meme culture until we get to the video The Dank Night, which is what I would call the end of the MLG era. Beyond this video, we start to see Memeulous doubling down on commentary style videos, but still keeping an element of random meme skit. In just under a year, we see the Memeulous channel grow and evolve from a meme styled MLG parody channel to a channel with character. George has always embraced his Englishness more than most, and I think that it's worked tremendously well for George, as it creates a sense of familiarity with the audience. We all want to hear dialogue from similarly minded people to ourselves, and from the start I think George knew this and capitalises on this pretty well. 2015 was a pretty good year for George, although towards the start you can see him trying to find his niche, so in a lot of ways his content around the time is fairly scattered. But this isn't a big problem, because it's something that every YouTuber goes through, and I briefly discussed a similar subject on my video about Ryan Trahan, which you can watch here, or a link will be at the end of the video. But back to George. George tries out a few different formats. For instance, we get a number of top 5 videos, which are top 5 Minecraft facts, top 5 Counter-Strike facts, top 5 brands of 2015, which is a fairly common strategy to use at the time, but it didn't really work for George that well. So in between those videos, you can find reaction videos, social commentary videos, and even reviews. I mean, they're kind of reviews, but more like meme reviews, which is not what you actually think it is, but it's besides the point. At this point, what George does flawlessly is he manages to implement current memes, giving everything that added layer of humour. It's essentially his brand. On the 21st of April 2016, George Memeulous released Roadmen, In this video, George literally just talks over a clip of a random game and discusses the cultural phenomenon, which is, yes, you've guessed it, roadmen. This was a fairly new format for George, so in a lot of ways it wasn't perfect, but it did allow him to expand and push on the UK audience he was currently growing. In England, the only thing better than being a roadman, like George, is hating on roadmen. This video ultimately blew up for George, and it currently sits on 2.2 million views to date, which relative to his channel at the time, probably would have made it one of his biggest besides some of the early MLG videos. George had struck a chord and didn't look back. The Memeulous videos got better and better from then on, continuing with his gaming commentary videos on various and usually British related subjects. And then we got Little T. No, not that T, this T.
Yo, yeah, it's like the Bister, I'm gonna your little sister.
Fucking hell.
And this is where Memeulous introduced the UK grime scene onto his channel for the first time. If you're a long time follower of Memeulous, you will know that some of the greatest videos have come from this genre. Obviously the genre being ripping on chavs and the like that think they can rap. Memeulous really pulled some of the UK's greatest grime artists to the forefront. Besides Little T, Memeulous introduced the world to Smithy Boy, Danny or D4NNY, whatever.
Goodbye to the people who hated on me.
Soph Aspin.
Oh Josh, this one's for you. Send for me and I'll send back to your mum's a dawn of everyone's ever seen.
And various members of the highly anticipated BG Media. Collectively, this era of Memeulous has brought in millions of views, and quite rightly so, because a lot of people may say this was peak Memeulous. Not to say that his content now is bad, because it's definitely not. Memeulous' style now is as funny as ever, and he often brings in other British YouTubers and friends of his, like I Am Alex, James Marriott and Will and E, not to be confused with Will I Am. Being such good friends and even roommates with these guys gives the whole video a kind of just chilling with the lads vibe. They make jokes between themselves, rip on each other, and they just don't take things too seriously. I think most people that watch his style of content can almost imagine or remember these kind of situations, even with their own friend groups, albeit probably not as funny, but still funny for you and your friends. Another thing that the boys do very well is they constantly nod towards the little inside jokes that only long time viewers or even just themselves only get, like Alex and the piss bottle, hashtag never forget. By doing this kind of strategy, George is able to continuously link each of these more recent uploads, which in turn either rewards repeat viewers or rewards new viewers going back and watching previous videos from George and the boys. Every way you look at it, it's a win-win. It also creates continuity. Honestly, it just feels like George never stops growing. I mean, not literally, because he's only 5'6½". And that half is important. Throughout the past couple of years, he just seems to have kind of hit a steady pace with growth. The main channel, which sits on 4.5 million, usually gets one upload a week. On the other hand, his second channel, GeorgeM, is sitting on just under 1.2 million, and he usually uploads anywhere from 1 to 3 videos a week. But usually, these videos are lesser in effort, they're more like reaction type videos, which is fairly usual for a second channel. One thing I like about Memeulous is he's able to keep his animosity while still becoming a rather large YouTuber, something I totally understand. He gets to live out the dream, complete segregation from the online world to the real life world. Essentially, he possesses almost an internet superpower where he can say anything he wants, express any opinion he likes, and has very little comeback IRL. But this is the clever part. He's able to build a physical character while remaining faceless by adopting the classic Ray-Ban Clubmaster black cap and bandana mask combo. Although it does make it harder to get those shock faces in the thumbnail. I mean, what is this emotion? Is Alex laughing at George sucking a penis? Who knows? Still works though. Interestingly, George and the E-Boys, for some who remember, have been creating some long form content recently, and surprisingly, these videos seem to have done pretty well considering some of them can be between half an hour to an hour and a half. He's done videos watching the notorious Darman, which are always hilarious, watching the legendary B-movie, and even his own Memeulous Rewind in 2021.
YouTube Rewind has been cancelled for the last 2 years, and it seems like we're never going to get one again, which is nothing short of a travesty. So I've decided to take it upon myself to make something better than YouTube Rewind. Memeulous Rewind 2021. Enjoy.
Good afternoon.
Most of these videos seem to hit over 1 million views, or just under, but for long form content those are pretty good numbers. Obviously that's without seeing retention rates, but I know I for one usually watch the videos in full or I split them over a time. Memeulous always has had a way of kind of sucking you in, and in turn he speaks to you on a level you're familiar with, as mentioned before, like a friend does. Even if he is a big bad landlord, just leave some money for the rest of us. Something that Memeulous really shines in is the ability to slag people off, or to criticise a situation in such a way that he manages to make it comedic. He always has a unique take on everything he commentates on, from the old grime days to the last month this happened days, all the way up to the modern stuff and the reaction videos. He's always had a similar style but has only gotten better through the years, almost unrecognisable. Well, literally. So overall, I think we can learn a lot from Memeulous. For instance, sometimes it's better to stay localised than to try to appeal to a larger audience. George knows who his audience is, so he makes content for his audience. It's that simple. And to be fair, it usually bangs. Even with the Eboys disbanding, all of the guys still make an effort for each other and for each of their channels. They've created almost a subscriber loop by sharing their followers. It is something we see quite often nowadays, but with the Eboys it did feel very genuine, like they were friends first and YouTubers second, which I think is a winning formula to good chemistry and bring out those genuine funny moments amongst mates. George is a pretty cool guy and is a certified national treasure, like Elton John or the Queen. So if you don't know who he is, but then again why would you be watching this video if you didn't, go and check him out for some top quality British banter. Sir George, good job. And that's all for me. If you like listening to my words, smash like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.